Today on the Business Video Playbook, Tim O'Malley, CEO of Ateema Media, shares how smart video content drives discovery, engagement, and meaningful connections between travelers and Chicago's local businesses.
Tim O'Malley, welcome to the Business Video Playbook.
Tim Ryan, thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your company and what you do and the kind of customers that you serve?
We basically help hospitality, tourism, and event businesses get found, chosen, and visited by the people that we see that matter most, including visitors, locals, hotel teams, and event planners. So we can accomplish this through a few ways. Digital advertising that drives awareness and attracts business, networking events that build real relationships that can help our customers grow. And then, of course, the hotel visitor tools like the Chicago Does interactive video map that give visitors the information that they need to choose our customers' businesses.
We have visitors that are new to a town, or maybe they're repeat visitors, and then you have locals that are always there. So is there a different approach you advise people to take when marketing to these two different audiences?
Absolutely, Tim. The biggest difference is understanding their mindset. So tourists spend more and are more focused on having memorable experiences than saving money, right? They're more likely to respond to an ad that's about quality offerings, not discounts, right? So in fact, discounts can work against companies in some cases because visitors are looking to treat themselves. They want to elevate their lifestyle for the time that they're away from home. Locals are more likely to be focused on finding value and saving money. Once you understand that, it's about choosing the tactics and the creative that speaks to the audience you're targeting.
And then what about marketing to visitors, say, before they've even arrived? Are some tactics or different approaches you might take to reach people as they're considering a destination?
The broadest, I guess, would be to target feeder markets and demographics that make sense with digital ads that build awareness, right, for the business or the location, Chicago in this case. For a little more targeted and less expensive approach, you would target people in their hometown who have recently shown interest or intent to travel to Chicago. And then you're thinking about during travel, you're going to be thinking about what am I going to do when I get there, right? So search marketing that targets keywords that people actively booking things to do in Chicago would search by, if that makes sense. And then in market, once they're here, digital out of home. So to build awareness in a targeted geography around the client's business so that people, before they even get in, they're seeing signage out in the neighborhood that they might be staying in. For in-hotel awareness, of course, an ad in our Chicago Does interactive video map is a great solution because it gives tourists all the information that they need to choose our client immediately. So the video, obviously, we lead with directions, images, plus purchase, reservation, and information links like reviews and social media, et cetera. We want to put it right there at their fingertips so they can make a decision and don't get lost out on the internet looking for other, solutions. We want them to choose our clients. And then there's programmatic geofencing. So to target visitors in the hotels nearest their businesses, you can also track conversions with this. So in essence, we draw a geofence, which is like an invisible digital wall around the four walls of a hotel, as well as a geofence around the client's location. So then we can capture the device ID of the tourist that we target with digital ads in the hotel. And when that device ID walks into our client, we can show that as a conversion and report back to the client as such.
Wow. That leads to a question around how do you evaluate success of a campaign? This is a very tangible way of showing the ROI, or that you've brought butts in seats, I guess is the term.
We are a firm believer that you have to build awareness top of funnel. You have to educate people on a brand. You have to get in front of them multiple times, to mid-level funnel, like the geofencing, to search, which is bottom funnel, because people are actively thinking, where do I get a pizza near me right now? And so those are the most likely. But you want to build awareness and tell your story to them. And video is a great way to do it because not only can you see it, you can feel the vibe, you can picture yourself in this vibe, and then you go, wow, that looks like me, I'm going. So that's why we are leaning into video as much as we are. It's really as we see it, how restaurants and attractions and tourism businesses convert viewers into customers. That's how we see it. So I think it's the fastest way to turn browsers into buyers. A quick clip of a dish in a restaurant or ride in an attraction or the energy inside a venue that really helps those visitors, again, to picture themselves there. That's what drives action. And that's why we started our Chicago Does TikTok and Instagram channels. We now have over 75,000 followers looking for things to do in the city. And it's also why we're launching the Chicago Does interactive video map, so businesses can inspire visitors at the exact moment that they're deciding where to go with all the information that they need to choose our clients.
What types of tactics did you use to grow that channel to that many subscribers? Because that's pretty significant.
The best way for me to tell you how we've grown the channel is to maybe take a few examples of videos that have done well. One example is Moe's Cantina. We did a video that had a really strong hook at the beginning. It was a Patron tequila tower. Our creator does a great job of segueing into all the other cool things that are going on in that business. That blew up. I think we had 225,000 views. We did one on the Chicago Pedway, which is an underground sort of tunnel system in Chicago where you can get around different areas in the city. One of our creators did a piece on how to use it, how to get around, what it is, and the strong visual telling the story up front, basically about navigating the Chicago Pedway, was the thing, because people are looking for closure, right? What is that? I always was curious what that is. And we got 1.4 million views on this thing. It went berserk. Yeah. So again, it was an effective hook, and it was really sort of that need for closure with a little bit of just a visual hook too. I think it was well presented. Just last week, the band Oasis was here. They played at Soldier Field, and our creator happened to be out the night before and saw that they were testing a drone show. She captured it on video, put it out on our channel that night, maybe the next morning, and already we've got 225,000 views on that. So the visual was the whole story there.
Okay, Tim, let's talk about the lessons learned from building these social channels. How have you applied those lessons learned into the Chicago Does interactive video map initiative?
It's truly the power of video that we've seen again and again in our Chicago Does social channels, combined with the interest that our client base has in telling their story through video, plus the support of Chicago's hotel community and concierge that like the idea of video enhanced tools for them to give to our guests. Frankly, everybody is all in on this because it really does give us the opportunity to give visitors all the information that they need to make a decision to go to your business, as opposed to feeling like I need to go out into Google and do a ton of research and get off, the track and out of the funnel. All of it works together. We built our product to work in combination with other campaign tactics like digital out of home. So you're walking your hotel, you see a billboard outside, digital billboard that says, Tim's Pizza. Something on it catches your attention. It's on your mind. Now you go into the hotel, you talk to the concierge, and you pick up our map, and you see an ad for Tim's Pizza. You go, oh my God, that's the thing I just saw. You scan the QR code, go to the listing, check out the video. Maybe you click on the reviews. Maybe you make a reservation right then and there. So that would be how it all works together. It's really that power of video that we've seen again and again through our experience with the Chicago Does social channels that has driven us to, create this project. When we brought this to our clients, explain why we wanted to do it, explain the success we've had with Chicago Does social channels and why, they all were completely on board.
So your use of video on these social media channels has been effective. And it sounds like you've had a couple of kind of viral hits. What are some lessons learned about the types of videos and how you package them, and what seems to work and what doesn't work? Is there a template to a video, or is every video you recommend or produce for customers going to be different?
We're not looking to script anything. We want authentic videos from the eyes of our creator with the help of a business saying, these are really the things that resonate with our clients, our guests.
Mhm.
And we'll tell people we're not going to edit based upon your brand. We're
Yeah.
not going to edit based upon your interest in music. It's our brand. And if you let us do it this way, we'll create a great video that will provide third-party credibility that has a chance of going viral. You never know if they do, obviously, Tim, you know this business. But
Right.
the chance of going viral was 1,000% better if you let us take this approach versus a client that wants to manage the whole process, edit, based upon their brand and their thinking and their personal opinion.
Mhm.
We'll just tell them, listen, if you want that, we'll do that and we'll make it a sponsored video.
Mhm.
But otherwise, we're going to do it our way, and we'll do it an authentic way so that we're not selling out our audience. That's the way that we look at it. And we'll tell them, listen, if you want to do a sponsored video and you want it to be very specific, it's really an ad, and we'll call it an ad, you're not going to get nearly the interest or the engagement that you will if you follow our lead.
What is it about an authentic, non-branded type of video that's more effective on social channels?
Authenticity, in a word, right? It's our creator, talks to the owner or whomever the person is at the business, call it a restaurant, for example, or an
Mhm.
attraction, and really wants to know what is it that people are most excited about at your place? What's most visual? What are you known for? What are the unique selling propositions? If you can authentically tell the story of a business, illustrate the vibe of a business, and get it in front of the right people, they're going to see it and it's going to resonate. And they're going to say, I could totally see myself in this place. Love the music they're playing. Love the lighting. Boy, that, bar stool looks cool. The people, look familiar. I want to go to this place. If you decide it's going to be, it has to be about, X promotion that we're doing, X branding, and I want this music, and I want this. These are the keywords I want you to use. Now you're taking the creator off their game. You're making it more of a marketing play. And as you know better than I do, statistically, an authentic video is going to outperform a marketing-oriented video all day in today's market.
Tim O'Malley from Chicago, Ateema Media and Marketing. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Business Video Playbook. It's been a real treat. And I think our audience has learned so much about the use of video for visitor marketing and the partnerships you developed and the lessons learned over the years by using video for social media and then applying it to a very video-centric product. So just wanted to say thank you for your time and for being with us today.
Tim, thanks for having me. It was an absolute pleasure, and I hope there was a tidbit or two that can be helpful to your audience.
Yes, for sure. And